Hey and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I will show you the best Windows tool from Microsoft called PowerToys. In short, PowerToys is a collection of tools designed for advanced users to optimize and enhance their Windows experience, improving productivity and efficiency. In this video, I will show you how to install it and how to use its features. So let's get straight into it. So I will open the browser here and on the address bar, I will search for PowerToys. I will click on enter and here I will go to this GitHub page. I will also put this link in the video description below so you guys can pause this video and go to this link here. Now down below here you will find a few of the installation options. Here you have per user and you also have machine wide, and you also have here x64 and ARM64. So basically what does that mean is that if you guys are using Intel processor or AMD processor, you guys will use x64. However, if you guys are using the brand new, for example, Surface 7 with Snapdragon X Elite processor or Plus, of course, you guys will install ARM64 version of the program. However, there is also another option which is per user and machine wide. Now, what does that mean? If you guys are, for example, using the computer with multiple users, then I highly suggest that you guys install the version where it says per user. However, if you are the only user on your computer, then I think it's the right thing to do to install machine-wide version of this program. Now, I believe that with each and every single option you pick here, the installation process is straightforward and identical. So here I will go with this one right here, machine-wide and ARM64. I will click on this link here and I should get the .exe file right inside the downloads folder. So if I go here to this option here, I will click on this folder icon and here we have the exe file for PowerToys. I will double left click on it. However, additionally, you guys can also install this same program from Microsoft Store, by the way. Here on this setup page, I will click on I agree to the license terms and conditions. I will click on install. Here I will click on yes on the admin prompt, and right now I should also wait for it to finish. Now keep in mind that if you guys are interested in my current wallpaper, you guys can go and check it out by clicking the first link in the video description, by the way. Once the installation is successfully completed, you can just close the installer, and here you basically have introduction to every single tool which this program actually has. Down below, if you go here to the system tray, you should find the PowerToys up and running. I'll put this icon inside the system tray just like so, and I will open its settings. Here on the first page, you will see the dashboard. Down below, you will see which modules you have actually enabled. However, at the bottom, you can also enable some of the disabled modules as well. Now, if we move forward, here we have the general settings for this program. For example, here you can check for updates, and down below you can also just run this program as admin. Now if you want, you can also change the theme. Currently it follows Windows default, but you can change this to light or to dark, and I will also leave enabled run at startup. And at the bottom you can also see this feature called allow experimentation with new features, which I think is really cool, and I will also leave it enabled. And now let's go here to the first feature, which is called advanced paste. Here it says that advanced paste is a tool to put your clipboard content into any format you need. In short, you can see that it's enabled, and here at the bottom, apparently you can also enable paste with AI if you have the OpenAI API key. Here down below, you can also enable clipboard history. You can also enable automatically close the advanced paste window after it loses focus. I will also enable this as well. Here we have the shortcuts. If you want, you can also customize them, but by default, the shortcut is Windows key Shift plus V, and then down below we also have another shortcut for paste as plain text directly. This shortcut is Windows key Control Alt plus V. Right now I'll try something. I will go here to the File Explorer. I will click on rename right here and I will copy it just like so. Here what I will do, I will go here to, let's say, open the notepad. Let's see what will happen if I click on Windows key Shift plus V. Here, let's see, and I will click on Windows key Shift plus V. Here we have this clipboard menu. You can also paste it as plain text. You can paste it as Markdown, and you can also paste it as JSON. Here we also have clipboard history. So we have this first one and here the second one. You can see that the custom AI currently isn't enabled. Here I'll click on paste as plain text, just like so. And here we have it. This is basically what this advanced base tool actually does. Now let's move on to the next one, which is always on the top. Here it says that always on top is a quick and easy way to pin windows on top. Here you can see also the shortcut, which is Windows key plus Control plus T. And here down below we have, you can enable basically the border around the pinned window. You can also change the color, opacity, thickness, and stuff like that. And here we also have the sound. So let's also try that as well. I will just go to the File Explorer for this tool, and I will click on Windows key plus Control plus T. So let's find out what will actually happen. Windows key, Control plus T. And here we have that this is basically the window which is currently on top. If I, for example, open another one, you can see that the border is around this one, and I believe that this one will always be on top. However, you can still use another one which is in the background, which is really cool. Now let's move on to the next one, which is called Awake. Awake is a convenient way to keep your PC awake on demand. So what this will do, here down below you will see the behavior, and here it says that option will manage the state of your device when Awake is active. Here it's set to keep using the selected power plan, and I believe that the device will go to sleep. However, you can also enable a few of the other options, just like keep awake indefinitely, or keep awake for a time interval, or keep awake until expiration. Here I'll enable keep awake indefinitely, and you can also enable keep screen on, just like this, and that is pretty much it for Awake feature. Now let's move on to the color picker. So the color picker is a quick and simple system-wide color picker. Here you'll find its shortcut, which is Windows key plus Shift plus C. However, you can also customize it as it stands for every single shortcut. And here down below we have activation behavior, which is pick a color and open editor. However, you can also enable only open editor or only pick a color here, but I will leave it as it is currently. And at the bottom you'll find color formats. So these are basically additional options. If you want to enable them, you can do so by just toggling here the option. I will just go here to the desktop and I'll try to get the color from this wallpaper. So what I will do, let's click on the Windows, Shift and C, and here we have the color picker. Here I'll click on this pick option and I will go to here, and here we have the basically the color. We have the first one, then we have here the second one, third one, and the fourth one. Now let's move on to the command not found. So apparently this feature is a PowerShell module that detects an error thrown by a command and suggest a relevant winget package to install if available. So here you can currently see that command is not found. You will need to add this module to the PowerShell 7 profile script so that it is enabled with every new session. So you can also install it right here if you want to. If you guys are using the PowerShell a ton, I think that this feature will come really handy. Let's just move on to the crop and lock. Crop and lock allows you to crop a current application into a smaller window or just create a thumbnail. Focus the target window and press the shortcut to start cropping. Here we have first option, which is thumbnail shortcut. So I'll try this shortcut on the File Explorer. Here I will go to the File Explorer and I will click on Windows key, Control plus Shift plus T, and here we have the selection. I will just select, let's say, this part of the File Explorer, and here we have this image. Let's move on to the environment variables. Apparently this is a quick utility for managing environment variables. Here you can click on launch environment variables, and here we have the user, and here at the bottom you have the system as well, and here you can see which variables are actually applied. You can also add a new profile, call it whatever, and you can also add a brand new variable if you want to. This is pretty much it for the environment variables. Now let's move on to the FancyZones, which is a window layout multitasking tool, and it's very easy to use. I must admit I already changed the activation shortcut, which by default was set on Windows key key plus Shift plus comma. However, I set that to Windows key plus Shift plus L. Here you can also launch the editor. And for example, you guys can just go here to create a new layout, or you can just pick from other presets as well. I'll click here on create a new layout. I will call it just like that. And you have here two options, basically the grid and the canvas. I will click here on create. And right now you can just resize the windows just like so. And you can also divide them just like so. And here you will see how many windows you have. So for example, here is the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, and the fifth one. You can click on save here. Then make sure that you select your preferred layout. Keep in mind that this activation shortcut will only open the editor. Now to use the FancyZones, you guys will have to use the Shift key on your keyboard. So if I hold down the Shift key, you will see how the FancyZones actually activates. You can just pin the window, for example, to here. Let's pin the Microsoft window to here. And then we have the File Explorer somewhere here. And this is basically how the FancyZones actually work. We can now move on to the next tool. And this tool is actually called File Explorer add-ons. So here down below, you will see that File Explorer add-ons are basically the settings that allow you to manage your Windows File Explorer custom review handlers. Down below, we have, for example, SVG files, we have source code, we have the markdown as well. Then we also have portable document format, we have geometric code, quite okay image as well. And here down below, we can also see thumbnail icon preview. You can enable that for SVG files, you can enable that for PDF. Now we can move on to the next one, which is called a file locksmith. It's a Windows shell extension to find out which processes are using the selected files and directories. So here you can see that we have the shell integration. Similar feature was also command not found, which was also integrated to the shell as well. Here we have default and extended context menu and extended context menu only. Here down below we have the information. Basically press Shift plus right click on files to open the extended context menu. If we go here, for example, we can go to the Coca-Cola logo and click on right click. We should get the extended context menu. And here down below we have this option called unlock with file locksmith. And we should get this pop-up, and you can see that we don't have the results. Now let's move on to the host file editor. So this is basically quick and simple utility for managing host file. Here down below we have the activation. We can just launch host file editor. And here we have the first one and then the second one right here. Now down below we also have other options as well. So this is how this feature actually works. Now we can also move on to the next one, which is actually image resizer. Now image resizer has a ton of the presets. For example, we have small, medium, large, and a phone. You can also add your own one as well. If you click on add new size, you can just click on this and name it. You can also change the fit, to fill, or to stretch. And you can also change the width and the height, and also the unit. So this is how it looks like. And then we also have here the fallback encoder. Currently it's set to JPEG encoder. However, you can also set this to PNG encoder because this one is actually lossless compared to JPEG. And then this is pretty much it. Now I believe that we can try this out by right clicking. So let me try this out. So here I will go to my pictures. I will go here, and here we have, for example, one of my wallpapers. I'll right click on it, and here we have this option called resize with image resizer. And here you have the preset. Basically, for example, I will go with the large one, and here we have other options as well. And I will click on resize just like so. Now we have this image right here, which is in 1080p compared to the first one, which is in 5K resolution. So this is how image resizer actually works. Down below, we also have keyboard manager. So if I enable that, you can see that the keyboard manager is a tool which will reconfigure your keyboard by remapping keys and shortcuts. For example, you can go here to remap a key. You can then try something out. Then here down below we also have mouse utilities, and here you have find my mouse tool. For example, it will highlight your mouse, and we also have the mouse highlighter, and we also have mouse jump, which you can also enable. Now let me try to find my mouse. For example, if I go here and if I click on Control key twice, you can see that we have the mouse right here. So this is how this feature actually works, and you will find also many of them right here as well. So maybe let's try this one here as well. Windows key plus Shift plus H. So Windows key plus Shift plus H is right here. Maybe you can see the highlighter. So where you click, it will show this subtle highlight. And here down below, you also have the mouse jump and also mouse pointer crosshair. So let's try this one here as well. For example, I will click on Windows key Alt plus P, and here we have this crosshair. And now let's move on to the next feature, which is called mouse without borders. Now keep in mind that to use this feature, you will have to have more Windows devices. Unfortunately, I do not have more devices and I cannot show you this feature, how it actually works. But here at the top, you will have this short description. So mouse without borders is a quick and easy way to move your cursor across multiple devices. So by this description, we can already figure out what this feature will actually do. I think it's really cool one. And now we can move to the next one, which is called E. Is a quick and easy way to preview files. Select a file in File Explorer and press the shortcut to open the file preview. Now let's try this out. I think this is really similar to the macOS preview feature. So if I go here, I will go to the image, click Ctrl and A, and here we have this simple preview. So only the shortcut was the actual issue. So if you have the same issue, you guys can just change the activation shortcut. Let's move on to the next one, which is Power Rename. So Power Rename is a Windows Shell extension for more advanced bulk renaming using search and replace or regular expressions. So let's try this one as well. So what I will do here, I'll go to the File Explorer once again. Let's say I will select multiple of the files, right click, and here we have this feature called Rename with Power Rename. I will click on this. On top, you'll find input field, and here I will, for example, search for lavender, and here you can see that it found one, and we can replace it with, let's say, ocean. And then you can also here see the before and the actual after. So before lavender breeze, after ocean breeze. You can also here only select here the file name, and here I'll click on apply. Now we can move on to the next one, which is also very similar to the spotlight feature, spotlight search feature on the Mac OS. This is similar feature, but on Windows. So let me show you how it also works. So if I click on Alt plus space, we should see this input field. And here we have also plug in keywords. For example, you can calculate something, you can search for something, and also access some files. So this is also a really cool feature to have. And down below here on the settings, you'll find plugins which you can enable or disable. Let's move on to the next one, which is Quick Accent. So Quick Accent is an alternative way to type accented characters, useful for when a keyboard doesn't support that specific accent. So let me show you how this one actually works. So if I go here and turn it on, you can see here that we have the activation key, which is left, right, or space. So press this key after holding down the target letter. For example, if I go here to the notepad and I will open it using the Alt plus space, so this will open the PowerToys Run feature. I'll search for the notepad and I will open it. And here what I will do, here it says actually that you will have to press the key after holding down the target letter. So here, if I hold down the C and hold down the space key, you can see how many of the letters we have here. For example, you can even go to the Celsius, and here it will input the Celsius as well. Now we can move on to the next one, which is Registry Preview. Now Registry Preview is a quick little utility to visualize and edit complex Windows registry files. Here it's currently set to enable Registry Preview, and you can also open it just like so. And if you want to edit some files in your registry, then you can also do so by using this program. So yeah, this is how this program actually works. Now we can also go to the next one, which I think it's self-explanatory, and this one is called Screen Ruler. Now Screen Ruler is a quick and easy way to measure pixels on your screen. The shortcut, it's quite a handful. It has 4 keys which you need to actually press, and here we can also see that we have an option option for default measure style. Now currently it's set to none, but you can do whatever here. And let's see what will happen if I enable screen ruler. So what I will do, I will just go here to put this window to the side, and I will click on Windows, Control, Shift, and M, and this should enable the screen ruler. And here we have it. We have here 4 options. So here you have the bounds, you have here spacing, you have horizontal spacing as well as vertical spacing. I'll click on this one, and you can, for example, just measure this part of the screen. You can see how many of the pixels are there. So we can move on to the next one, which is called shortcut guide. Now currently it is enabled, and here you can see that we have the activation method set to custom shortcut. Here you can also see the activation shortcut is Windows Shift and this thing right here. I will replace this with Windows Shift and H. I'll click on save here. You can also change the app theme and stuff like that. So here what I will do, I'll click on Windows Shift and H. So here we should get some of the shortcuts, which I think are quite useful as well. Now we can also move on to the next one, which is called text extractor. Here you can also see a warning where it says that it is recommended to use the snipping tool instead of the text extractor module. I will enable that, and you can see here that the text extractor can only recognize languages that have the OCR pack installed. So let's see what will happen. So here it also says that it's a convenient way to copy text from anywhere on the screen. So here what I'll do, I'll just activate the shortcuts. So Windows key, Shift and T, and let's see what will happen. So this is apparently the text extractor. I will select this text right here, so description of the feature, and let's see what will happen here. Apparently this is right now copied, so hopefully it is, because I will paste it right here. So yeah, this is how this feature actually works. Now let's move on to the next one, which is video conference mute. So video conference mute is a quick and easy way to do a global mute of both your microphone and a webcam. So this is pretty much the feature. I think I covered every single feature inside PowerToys from Microsoft. So if you like this video, make sure to smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel, of course, if you haven't already, and you can check out this wallpaper pack or this exact wallpaper inside the wallpaper pack by clicking the first link in the video description below. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.